Here we are back at Bourton-on-the-Water station and in Gloucestershire, and once again I'm using this little station to introduce some new models which I've created for Trainz. Oops, a bit fierce. And the last video that I did, I showed the Barnums. There's one there on that freight train and another there on a stopping passenger service. This is Bourton-on-the-Water was on the Banbury to Cheltenham cross-country line, and I remember it well from my youth, and this was pretty much how it was, but I'm just trying to, there we are, smooth things down a bit. And there's a number of things, of course. I've barely got anything of the village in here. You can see the church over the way there, and where I lived was, well, it's just a green field here, but it should be about here, not far from the church. Okay, so this new video of Bourton-on-the-Water is to illustrate my new locomotive models, and they are, this is the first one to show you here. It's an 060 tank locomotive built in 1871 by Wolverhampton GWR works, and it was a 633. As you can see, this is the first of the locos, and it gave it its class designation, a 633 class metro tank. It was designed for use east of Paddington along the Metropolitan Railway through Baker Street and on to Moorgate, and connecting into the city widened lines, and probably ran further onto the dock system of East London, where the GWR had its own depots. But here it is, way out in the Cotswolds at Bourton-on-the-Water, and it's in the Wolverhampton livery, and you can see it's got the condensing gear, the steam condensing gear, pipe work here, which was to return steam back to the boiler in order to reduce the amount of steam that would appear in the cut and cover tunnels of the Metropolitan Railway. So I've done three different versions of this locomotive. So this is the second version, I think, over here. Let me just have a look round this way. We've got the two others here, yes. We've got the two others here. We've got the this one is the in GWR, later GWR livery, is number 642, and slowly scrolling around, coming into view on the right hand side there is number 635, which is without the condensing gear, so it's modelled without that. And these of these 20 locomotives in this class, those that had either the condensing gear removed or never fitted were mainly used in South Wales, but they did wonder about the system a fair bit as well. So you're not restricted to just using them in tunnels. You can use them just about anywhere on the Great Western System. Okay, well, what about these locos? Well, I've had all sorts of fun making the interior actually work, the cab view interior actually work. In fact, in the end, I didn't get it to work, and luckily one of my beta testers there, Kotanga Girl in New Zealand, absolutely dogged persistence, she got it set right, and so I'm really pleased about that, and thanks very much indeed, Annie, for some brilliant work. And so that really solved the problem I had with the 633s before I could release them. And the engine spec apparently is, according to my beta testers, is really good stuff, and that was produced by well, it's Augusto, but his train's name is Duke something or other. But he's done a great job on the engine spec, so I think that really, credit where credit's due. So these locos really are quite special, I think, because you've got open cabs. They did eventually were rebuilt and did have did have full cabs fitted, but I felt I wanted to leave them with these open cabs because they just look so good, so different. And the livery, well, the livery for the Wolverhampton liveried loco is pretty notional, but it's based more or less about 1905, and then the livery for the other two, the standard Great Western livery, is just after that, taking it through to the First World War, the sort of 1910s onwards. And these lasted for a good few years before eventually being withdrawn and cut up, after being rebuilt several times with different fireboxes and, as I say, with overall cabs. But I felt that made them look rather similar to a number of other 060s of the Great Western, so I wanted to keep the sort of more distinctive elements that you can see on these locos, and just because they look fine, I think, like this. So there we are, that's the 633s, and as I say, there's 3 of them, and they'll be available on my website, and I'm intending to load them onto the download station, which is a bit of a change for me, because after quite a few years of not bothering to put anything on the download station, I decided to give it a go. And mainly because as the transition was made from the earlier Trainz iterations to Trainz a new era and so forth, a whole load of the models that I'd already put on, I was then sort of rather peremptorily instructed by Boren to update them. I don't take well to such peremptory instructions, so I didn't bother, and I stopped loading stuff up onto the DLS. But now I'm going to try and amend that. And also there's going to be a small but hopefully quite productive program of updating some of my earlier models, because some of them go back to Trainz 4 and could well do with another look and an improvement for the later versions. So there we are, 633 class Metro tanks, not the later Metro tanks, don't get confused. There are several classes several classes that are known as Metro tanks, and this is perhaps one of the first. So you're very welcome to download these from my website and eventually from the DLS when I put them on there. And they're freeware, of course, and as with all my stuff, it's freely available, and you can use it for any layout that you like. But of course, I would stress that I do have a policy about reskinning or changing my models in any way, so you must contact me first. And I don't always give permission because I don't support certain types of, or I don't agree with certain types of reskinning. So there we are. I hope you've enjoyed the video, I hope it's been of interest, and look out for further locomotives that I'll be producing. There's another one already in the pipeline, or in preparation. I'm researching it at the moment, and it again will be, there were just 2 in the class, and they operated down in Cornwall. And so those will be a new loco coming sometime in the summer. So if you've enjoyed the video, please give me a thumbs up, or whatever, and if you haven't subscribed already, please do, and look out for the next video.